one of the posts that I did on Instagram, I reached out, asked if you guys would rather have an Italian recipe or an indo-pak recipe. Did a little poll and it came back that you guys wanted an indo-pak recipe. So what I'm making today is a chicken and chickpea recipe, a lighter version, much lighter version than you would normally make, just because I tend to not cook with a lot of oil and stuff like that. Try to keep it low on the calories and the fat and whatnot that comes with a lot of desi food. So again, I'm gonna make a chicken and chickpea recipe. It's called Murgh Cholay, and I know the desi people, brown people out there are gonna make fun of my accent, but it's cool, whatever. So for this recipe, you're gonna need your base, which is onions, garlic, ginger, tomato, and water, and then your spices, plus your chicken and your chickpeas, obviously, because that's what you're making. So we're gonna get started. And oh, also oil, not oil, because like I said, I make a lighter version, dropping things. I actually use extra virgin olive oil cooking spray as opposed to oil when I'm cooking. So we've gotten started over here. The first thing you're gonna do is coat the bottom of your pan with some of the olive oil cooking spray that I mentioned. Again, if you don't wanna do a light version of this, you can use just regular oil, but I prefer to make my food much lighter. So you coat the bottom of the pan with some olive oil cooking spray or your olive oil, and you throw your onions in. Just a note, if you're gonna use olive oil cooking spray, your onions are gonna brown a lot faster, so you're gonna need to use a bit more, and maybe even after you throw the onions in the pot, you may need to spray a little bit more on top just to keep them from burning. So you're gonna go ahead and, like I said, keep stirring this so that it doesn't burn. And it's starting to smell like cooked onions, which is good. That's what it's supposed to smell like. And just keep stirring, and then once they are just a bit soft, we're gonna throw some water into the pot. So I've gone ahead and poured some water into the pot. It's about, if you've watched my other videos, you know I keep saying I don't measure anything, just because I've been cooking like this for a while, and I kind of know the measurements just by looking. But you're gonna put in about 2 cups of water into your onions. So you can see it kind of just looks like onion soup right now, which doesn't look appetizing at all, but I promise you this will taste good when it's done. Now you're gonna go ahead and add your garlic and your ginger. So if you go to an Indian supermarket, you may be able to find something called garlic ginger paste, or you can make it yourself with just grinding together garlic and ginger, but I don't actually have that. I didn't feel like grinding it together, so I have 2 separate things. I have garlic and I have squeezable minced ginger. So, like in my last video, again, don't measure. I call this a shit ton of garlic because I like garlic. So you're gonna head and pour in your minced garlic. Measurement wise, it's about probably, I use like 2.5 tablespoons of minced garlic just because I like a lot of garlic. And then you are going to, ginger is like the hard one because I usually use garlic ginger paste. So I'm gonna say if you're using this kind of ginger, maybe a tablespoon, which that was probably more than a tablespoon. So go ahead, throw that all in the pot, mix it up, and wait until all the flavors kind of blend together. So that should be about 1 minute, 2 minutes, until maybe you see some steam coming out of the pot. So you can see that stuff has started bubbling now, and now you are going to toss in your tomato. So it's about, you can see like my diced up tomato. They're not really tiny pieces. It doesn't really make that huge of a difference how you cut them because they're going to be watered down anyway. Once they start cooking, they're going to be cooked down. So it's about 1.5 large tomatoes that you're going to toss into the pot. And again, stir, stir, stir. And really the base of most Indian foods are the same. It's all the same ingredients I just put in plus the spices. So really you can kind of make anything. So now comes the fun part, the spices, which is really like what makes Indian food be Indian food, or, you know, Pakistani food. To me, it's the same thing, and I know I'm gonna get shit for that, but whatever. I think it's the same thing. This also is the part where I measure nothing. So Yeah, don't really go by what I'm doing, go by what I'm saying. So this is turmeric. You're gonna need about like 1 probably teaspoon, and this is like not easy here. About 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Paprika. So this is where you get your color from for Indian food, how you like get the color of a curry. Some coriander powder, or you can use, you know, at the end, fresh coriander as well. So some coriander powder, about a teaspoon. And then I like my food spicy, so definitely don't do what I'm doing. You're probably going to want to use about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of chili powder, whereas I just probably put in 3 teaspoons, and that would probably kill someone who doesn't like spicy food. So you have all your spices in there. You're going to mix it up. Oh, as well as salt. I'm sorry. Yes, you're going to need salt too. I don't like salt. I don't use salt, but you're going to need about probably a teaspoon of salt for the normal population who likes salt. So this has the spices in it. You can see it's starting to get like a reddish color. You are going to go ahead and not do what I just did. There you go. You're going to put your chicken in there. Yeah, guys, this is what happens when you, sometimes when you cook. Mistakes, whatever. So toss my chicken in there, spin it around a little bit. Going to throw all those chickpeas in there and stir it up. And you can see that like there's not really that much water in there right now. So in order for it not to dry up too quickly, you can add a little bit more water to it so that your chicken can cook in there. You're not gonna essentially boil the chicken, but just so that it's covered a bit. And then you're going to cook this down. So basically you're gonna dry up the water as much as possible in there, and then we will be done. So you can see now a lot of the water has dried up. When you stir this up, you can see like most of the water is dry in there. And you should be good to go at this point. Ooh, a lot of steam. So there you have it. It's your chicken and chickpeas already. You can serve this alone. I eat it plain because I'm not a big rice eater or bread eater, but you can serve it with white rice. You could serve it with, you know, just some like pita bread or naan if you have any naan, which you can buy at like any Indian grocery store, or probably ShopRite at this point because, you know, there's a international food aisle. But yeah, so, you know, throw on some Shah Rukh Khan in the background, some Bollywood classics, you know, dance around your kitchen. And yeah, if you try out the recipe, let me know. Hope it's good. Hope you like it. And yeah, I'll be back with another one.